Well, hello everybody. Thank you for coming to our showcase design presentation. We are we worked with the Holland Computing Center, and we worked on an RNA make application for enhancing RNA nanostructures. So first, our sponsors. So our sponsors were the Holland Computing Center. And what the Holland Computing Center does is they really manage the on-campus supercomputers. So they make sure that all of the resources that go to them and all of the computations that are run on them, they really manage everything about those and make sure that everything is going well with them. They also allow researchers to run simulations, such as the RNA make simulation that we'll be showing you in a bit, and they provide resources for students where high computational power is needed. Specifically, in the Holland Computing Center, we worked with these three individuals. Dr. Joseph Yesselman, who is an associate professor of chemistry, Dr. Hongfeng Yu, associate professor of computer science and engineering, and Dr. Derek Weitzel, research assistant professor of computer science and engineering. These were our three main sponsors. These were the people that we communicated with the most throughout our entire 9 months of senior design. They gave us the specs and the requirements for our program and everything that we needed to be able to actually work with this. So a little bit about us. This is Abdullah Hamad, squad lead, dev manager, and our main leader kind of on the team. My name is Peter Gao. I'm the product manager for our team. Kevin Wirtz, who is a developer, along with Trent McElmurray, Josh Bearden, and Katie Giroux, who were all also developers on our team. We couldn't have gotten this done without all of them, so they really helped us out and made sure, we made sure that we got this product done. And I will go ahead and pass it off to Abdullah to talk more about what exactly our project was.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. So first of all, just what is this program and what is it about? So we have RNA Make, which is a command line program that can create RNA structures if you give it 2 base pairs. And so this was very difficult to use, and what the sponsors wanted is a front end for normal users to be able to interact with that. And so the previous solution was using the Aravada Django portal, which is a web portal to submit the RNA jobs. However, according to our sponsors, they did not like this. They thought that it was unintuitive and the UI seemed outdated. And so what they wanted was something that was modern, intuitive, and that was user experience focused. And one of the things that we were given by the sponsor was kind of like this creative freedom to do whatever that we needed to make sure that we met that constraint. And so the current Aravada Django portal was too restrictive for the sponsor needs. And so for the solution, what we ended up doing is we decided to create a React front end, which was more versatile, dependable, and one of the really important things for the developers is that this was well documented. And so with the emphasis on the user experience, the solution was built on top of the Aravada Django portal. And so we built it on top of the Aravada Django portal because this allowed us to have easy access to the API, as well as some of the other nice features that the portal has, like dealing with logins and with user creation and user management. So here we're just going to go ahead and through some of the examples. So here you're looking at the old Aravada Django portal. And one of the things is this is the first page that you encounter when you come in. And if I were to ask you, where do you go from here? You probably wouldn't really know what to do from here. It's kind of loses you and you don't know where to go. If we go on to the next one, right away, this is supposed to be kind of easier and more intuitive for the user to use because you're thrown into this page right away. You can see, hey, if I want to create a new RNA scaffold or structure, then I can just click on this and I'll be good to go. And then over here, you have your recent submitted jobs, and as well as on the top, you can navigate to past experiments or, for example, the questions page. And so this is the old job submission page. And so this is where you would go to fill out the information to create that new RNA structure. And the thing about this is it had two things. First of all, it gave too much to the user at once, which left them confused. And it also had a lot of options that the user really didn't know what to do with. And so we decided to kind of take all of that out and just really have the most important bits and pieces and kind of have these sane defaults for the user to use. And so this is the new front end that we designed, where you really have to only worry about a couple of things. You only really have to worry about the name, the description, the number of designs you want for the structure, and then just some presets for what kind of precision that you want. I'll go ahead and give it to Kevin to tell us a little bit more about the structure.
Yeah, so this is basically our architecture diagram of how we designed it. This all right here, this Django middleware, this is supplied by a team at the University of Indiana that also develops Aravada. The Django portal is a separate piece of middleware software that we interface with. It exposes a nice REST API that gave us a convenient way to get data from Aravada. And basically what we did is we took our React.js front end and we used a program called Cookie Cutter to basically turn it into a plugin that you can install onto the Django Aravada software. And then it was able to pretty easily communicate via a REST API, and it also takes care of cores and maintaining cookies, so we didn't have to worry about that too much. And then the Django middleware just communicates over the Aravada API, and that's a very complicated and rich API, but fortunately we did not have to expose ourselves to it too much. And then I will go ahead and pass it back to Peter to talk about our value and highlights.
Right. So value and highlights. This is basically what we learned and our takeaways from this project. 9 months we have to have something to have taken away from it, and we did. So the three main things was the fact that first off, we laid a solid foundation for future developers. Although we weren't able to bring this application to a full close and a place where we wanted it to be, we've laid a good foundation in both the places where we've been able to integrate it with the Aravada portal, and we've also laid a good foundation in our design decisions and requirements so that this application is extensible and really can be used in whatever way future developers want. So although we weren't able to finish it, we were able to lay a good foundation so that others can finish it when they pick up this project. On top of that, we also had some really great experiences in web dev and web development. A lot of our developers were actually computer engineering developers, so they didn't have a lot of experience with front end. However, when push came to shove, they stepped up and stepped out of their comfort zone to be able to develop this front end for us and make sure we got this project into a better place than it was. Last but not least, we solved an open-ended problem. Our sponsors were very lenient with their specifications for us, and they gave us a lot of freedom to decide what we wanted to do. Now, there's pros and cons to this, and a lot of it was we didn't exactly know what the sponsors wanted, but that led us through a journey of figuring out what exactly we needed and what they would want, and through an iterative process we got it to a point where we were happy with the design and the sponsors were happy with the design. So that's really all we had for our values and highlights, and we'll go ahead and open it up for any questions. Sure.
Yes, the question was, is the homepage animated? And yes, the homepage is animated. If you have a running job, the little RNA thing, it spins.